But your channel has changed like a lot since that point. Like you still do the Japanese videos here and there, but you've been doing a lot of different stuff recently. Like your recent series, the renovation series. Honestly, I really enjoyed that series. Like, it was a really good set of videos.
That's nice to hear.
I,
It's
I
like
sorry, go on.
the okay. You can continue for now.
I hadn't like checked out your channel for a while, and I think one of those might have popped up in my recommended or something like my YouTube home. I was like, "What is Liverpool doing at this point?" It's like renovating an abandoned Soviet store. Like, okay, let's see where
Yeah.
this goes. And I didn't know what you were going to be doing with it, but I sat there and watched all 3 episodes. Like, honestly, it was a really good series, and I would like to see more of that. Like, I guess trying out different things, because clearly you have a enjoyment for, I guess, explaining these various topics, digging into these different things, and trying out a lot of different things in your life rather than just, sitting there doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah, definitely. It's like my, I guess, quote unquote dream for YouTube from the beginning was that I could pretty much make a video about whatever I want. Because when I got started with YouTube, or rather, like the first time I started doing YouTube somewhat seriously, when I was much younger, well, not on this channel, but my previous channel, the issue was that I like stopped making videos when my channel was potentially going to grow. And the reason why was because uh, the genre of videos I had made thus far no longer like felt original, and I didn't have any ideas anymore
Right.
for that genre. So I just stopped making videos. But now here it's just like, if I am able to establish like an audience that just watches the channel because they enjoy the channel in general, then I can make like variety content, and I can make videos about whatever I want, which is something I really like. Because yeah, I like checking out new things, and you know, like you said, I like explaining
Mm.
like random stuff about the experience in general when it comes to things like that.
I've got the video up on the screen right now. It's at the bit where you found the just the what 50-year-old whetstone, and just little things like that. They add a nice little touch to the videos that it doesn't necessarily need to be there. You could have just, sharpened the scythe and be done with it. But you went off on this like little tangent about it. I think stuff like that is just cool. Like, I don't know how to properly explain it, but whatever you're doing, I think it's working, and I'm really enjoying it myself.
Oh, epic! It's really nice to hear, because like it's actually, I think, my most well received video series, in the sense that like it doesn't actually gain that many views. Well,
Mm,
now it has like kind of, the first episode is nearly at 10K views,
mm,
but before that it was like one of the worst, like it was the third worst video in terms of views
mm-hmm,
that I had posted in like a really long time. And I didn't really mind it, because the feedback was like really great, like the view to like ratio and comments, and they were all like really positive, and
mm,
people really enjoyed the series. And I was like pretty happy with the way it turned out. But when I was making the first video, I was actually like kind of worried, in the sense that it's so different from what my channel so far has generally been, in the sense that, first of all, it's like a real life video somewhat. And all my previous videos have been almost exclusively just me using a screen recorder,
yeah.
and using video game footage, and like just screenshots, and recording my screen in general and stuff like that. But then suddenly it's like a real life series that's like completely unrelated to everything I've been doing thus far. And it's also like, I don't know, like it's not such a common thing to do for a channel like mine, to just start suddenly doing some like renovation series, I suppose.
I think the benefit you do have is because your channel is still like, obviously this channel's been around for like what, a year, 2 years, 2 years. But
Yeah.
you don't have that many videos, so it's not like you have this really entrenched audience that's there for one particular thing. Obviously, the initial audience, showed up for the Japanese content because that's what initially popped
Yeah.
off. But You don't have like, 400 videos spanning over 6+ years where making a sudden shift like that most of the time doesn't really play out that well.
Yeah, like definitely in the sense that like there are channels which work way better in some specific medium,
Mhm.
and sometimes if they change mediums then it's very well received, but in other times it's like people just they instantly have a negative connotation with them changing the style. Because for
Yep.
example, let's say somebody who just makes videos about a specific video game
Mhm. Yeah,
for like 5 years or something, and then suddenly they switch games and people are like, they won't react too positively to it, because they're, first of all, they're scared that he will stop making videos about the game that they play and want to see. And the other thing is just like they don't even care about the creator as a whole. They just want to see the content about the video game and stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. There are a lot of real, like, there's tons of examples of this going all the way back through YouTube history. Like, a lot of the big creators started on Call of Duty. A lot of
Yeah.
them fell off after they swapped from it. But some people ended up, sticking around and going further on. Like, PewDiePie used to be a Call of Duty channel, and thinking of what he's doing
Yeah.
now, it's such a big shift from that. Or you've got the time where, people doing, like, horror games, you've got the Happy Wheels stuff, you've got any of that stuff. Or like a more recent example is when Fortnite was popping off, there was a lot of streamers who were only doing, or like Apex Legends, a lot of streamers who only did that, and people weren't there for the person who was making it. I think that's what you've got going for your channel. It's not necessarily just about what you're saying. People are there for the style that you've got to the videos, the way that you're doing your editing, the just you as a person, as opposed to, hey, this is Duolingo. Duolingo is great. This is what's great about Duolingo. This is your opinion on it. This is my experience with it. So transferring that to something different, I think, is a lot easier. There's always going to be a drop off, but I don't think the drop off would be as harsh. At least over time. Maybe at that first video it would be a bit weird, like you were saying, it was third worst video, but over time I think it's easier to make that transition than being just pure, you know, nothing about the person, I guess.
Yeah, if like the creator is in a pigeonhole in the
Yeah,
sense
yeah.
that
Like if Watch Mojo started doing gameplay videos, like that wouldn't work at all.
yeah, I can already imagine it. Like I feel like there have been companies that like start doing some video game let's plays, and they're like so formal and stiff, and like it's clearly like people can instantly tell. Like
Mhm.
the same thing goes for when companies make ads directed towards gamers or something. They never do really well, because like it's like always the fellow kids like
Yep.
reactions that people get from those.
On that note, do you actually know how how you see the mobile game ads where you have some person playing a game and they have like the
Yeah,
gameplay
yeah,
there? Do you know how those ads are actually recorded? Because it's explains why they're so awkward and don't make any sense.
well, I guess I really haven't thought about it, but now that you ask me about it, I feel like I guess they aren't even like the same game or something.
So
Or
the way
yeah,
it
okay,
works
just
is,
go on.
sorry.
And just go on.
Uh, I was gonna say that the way it works is they're given a script. They usually don't get any gameplay footage whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah,
given a
yeah.
script to read, and they put the gameplay over it. They have no idea what's gonna be there, and it's sort of just wing it basically. Sometimes you get acting directions, sometimes you won't, and that can lead to some interesting inflections in voice that don't make any sense.